Okay, welcome to Glazing Your Plate. I just want to point out a few things about the paintbrush that you have and the way we're going to use our glaze. So remember, you can pick up a very small paintbrush at school. It's in the clay cart. Some of you got it in the classroom. This brush can be used to paint in a little bit thicker lines like this, as you can see as I'm making my brush strokes. Or if you twist it, it can be a really, really thin, nice, fine point. So I'll show you that in a minute. Just to explain what I'm doing here is I'm using obviously our glazes that we got, the colorful ones, and I made a few colors. I mixed some white in with a brown that I had, and I'm using my red. So I'm putting 3 layers of glaze on this little superhero guy. And I'm going to put 1 layer of glaze on my plate details. So we'll get to see when it comes out of the kiln if it looks solid or not. We might need to do 3 layers for everything. But having to write text and do more than 1 layer is going to be a challenge. Anyways, I have a darker red for the underside of my cape here. And then the last step is my spikes. So if your brush is ever flattened like this, if you just twist it, you can see it makes a really nice fine point. So if you're trying to do lettering or really thin lines, you just need to kind of rinse off your brush or just get some of those chunky glazes off and twist the brush along the edge of your container. And so I get a fine point right at the end of my brush. And that's how I'm able to just dip it in the blue and write these letters and have the thinnest line I can get. If at any point you mess up, you can just scratch this right off. You could use a water and sponge, but it might smear all over your plate. So when I made mess ups, I scratched it off. Anyway, this was my original sketch, and this is what I've got so far. So the last bit of this will be taking it out of the kiln. All right, here it is finished. So remember, our colors are very dark. If you need something lighter, you have to mix white glaze into the color, mix it before you paint, and then paint it on. These letters and the black line are 1 layer, and my creature is 3 layers. And I think I'm going to go back and add some value. Remember, our glaze is just flat color, so there's not going to be much value or exciting shading on it unless you put it yourself. So what you guys will do is, after you've come up with your design and your plate is dried, you will paint it on. 3 layers is great, 2 layers is great. 1 layer might be see-through. And then you'll turn it into me and I'll run it through the kiln. If it looks perfect, you'll get a picture to check it. If you love it, then we will put the finishing touch, which is clear gloss. I'll do that step and turn it in, put it back in the kiln, and then you'll get the finished plate that is coated in glaze and able to be eaten off of. So it's a real plate. So it's a functioning piece of pottery, which is exciting. But we don't want to put the clear gloss on right after our picture in case we messed up or we need to change something. You can't really change it after the fact. Right now, I can change my hedgehog. I can go back and paint more on him and put it through the kiln again. But if I had coated this in clear gloss, I wouldn't be able to go change it at all. So remember, you're not going to do the clear gloss. You're just going to glaze your design that you're getting the grade for. So remember, you have to have a really exciting picture you're going to glaze on there. All right, if you have more questions, please let me know. Good luck.